Alright guys, so in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys information about SIQ and LLD. So SIQ stands for sick in quarters. Sick in quarters. So, when you're in a room with, 100 different people, you're going to be sick in some way or form. So I haven't heard of someone who went through boot camp without being sick. A lot of things go by. Nasal infection, pink eye, many different things that could happen. And then it's your choice if you want to see medical because of the sickness, and you need some time to sleep and rest so you can be fully fit for full duty again. So another example of being in sick in quarters is dental work. So when you get to boot camp, they examine your teeth, dental work, and a lot of people get their wisdom teeth pulled. And when you get your wisdom teeth pulled, obviously you're going to be bleeding out of your mouth, and you're going to be on medication. So, they're not going to make you do physical workouts, doing push-ups, all that kind of stuff. They're not going to take you to class because they just want you to be in bed, focusing on healing, focusing on taking some rest so, you can be fit for full duty. And after SIQ, you might be followed by LLD, which is light limited duty. It's not always that you're followed by LLD after SIQ. Sometimes if you're sick, if you are, maybe you have a cold, you can't do a lot of physical exercises, maybe out of nasal infection, they might give you LLD, which is light limited duty, which just basically says you can't stand up for more than 10 minutes. You can't do a lot of physical exercises. You can just do some of the physical exercises, but not a lot of the physical exercises. You can still attend class with your fellow shipmates. And so that's SIQ and LLD. So to give you an example of some of the examples and stories of what happened to some of my fellow shipmates when I was in boot camp was, so in your depth test, your depth test is based on two things. Number one, your written exam, and number two, your first PFA. So your first physical fitness assessment. So when you are in your first week of boot camp, you take your depth test, which is based on the starter packet, which they give you out in MEPS, and also some of the stuff that you will learn in your first week in boot camp. So after you take your depth test, you will take the PFA sometime later on. So once you pass both of them, you will move up from E1 to E2. Okay, I don't think you move up from E2 to E3. You move up from E1 to E2, which is the depth test. But some of my friends got sick, and they said, you know what, I'll be SIQ because I get to sleep in all day. So they had this bright idea of being SIQ, and they went to medical and they said, I feel so sick, I want to be an SIQ, and they were pretty much kind of faking it. But by the end, they got the SIQ shit, and they missed the PFA because they had to be in their beds all day. And what happened later on was they didn't get to they didn't get to take the PFA, and they ended up not being able to pass the depth test and not moving up in pay grade because they were SIQ for the PFA. So that has happened. So if you're light limited duty, that could happen also. So, be very careful with being SIQ and being LLD. I'm not saying never go there, never go to medical. If you feel so sick that you feel like you need to go, then go. I'm just sharing with you guys some of the stories, some of the examples that happened when I was in boot camp. So another thing is, a lot of times, so many people have the bright idea to be SIQ and LLD all the time. I had a fellow shipmate in my boot camp. We were 3 weeks into boot camp, and he only did maybe 10 push-ups because he was almost always SIQ and LLD. He was faking so many symptoms. He said, I broke my leg, but he could run perfectly fine. He said, I broke my leg, I think I have a fracture. End of the story, he ended up being set back, and afterwards he went home because he had so many problems. But anyway, I've also seen a whole division. I think they had right about 80 people in the beginning, but they had a very small division. And my RDC said, you see that division? You see that division over there? There's only about 30 people. You know, more than half the people are gone because they were SIQ and LLD for a really long time, for many, many, many days. And they were faking the symptoms, and they missed. When you're SIQ especially, you don't get to do everything with the division. And when you're LLD, you miss. You don't get to do physical events like PFA. When you are SIQ and you miss so many days of activities, that important mandatory activities, you're going to be set back. Because you need to take those classes, you need to make up those time. So, you know, some of the classes you can miss, it's not that important, but, you know, some of the classes are very, very important. So make sure, if you are SIQ, it's something serious that, you know, if you're not trying to fake it, just to be SIQ and just rest all day. That's the message of basically this video. So that is SIQ and LLD. So make sure if you are sick, if you're serious, you know, go to medical, get the SIQ, LLD. But if you're trying to fake it, if you're trying to just get the SIQ for, you know, to sleep extra, I would not highly recommend that. All right, guys. So thanks for watching. Subscribe, press that like button, leave any comments, questions, or just whatever you want to say, or however your day was in the comment section below. All right, guys. Thank you and have a great Navy day, guys.